In my last video, I showed you guys how to count cards with the 2 through 6 being worth +1, the 10 through ace being worth -1, and the 7, 8, 9 being worth 0. This is called the high-low card counting system because some are high, some are low, and they are worth those different amounts, either +1 or -1 as you go. All right, and in that one, since these add up to 0 in that video, we went through it and we started at 0 and we got back to 0. Now, since this is just one suit, it's also going to be true if you have 4 suits or a whole deck, right? So in this video, we're going to do it with a whole deck, and we're going to see if we can get through a whole deck counting cards and see if you guys can maybe try it along with me. All right, so if you didn't watch that last video, I'll put maybe a link up on the top of the screen for you, so you can click that and kind of see how card counting works. If you know how it works and you've seen that one, then you might want to be able to graduate onto this video. All right, so I'm going to give it kind of a nice little shuffle here. These are already mixed up, but just to prove it to you, all right, there's no rhyme or reason to that order. We'll give it a cut just to be sure. And anyway, as I count through these, I'm going to do it with you, and let's see if we can correctly get this. Now, feel free to either slow down this video or speed it up. Go to your settings and change the speed if it's too fast or slow for you. But eventually, I'm going to put out more and more of these counting videos so you can practice with me. All right, let's start here. Remember, 9s are worth 0. 7s are 0, so our running count is what you call it, the count that we're kind of keeping a tab in our head. This is still at 0. This is worth -1. Now, a trick for card counters is sometimes instead of saying -1, that takes a lot, say D1, right? D for down. So now we're at D1. D2, D3, still D3, that's worth 0. All right, this is a +1, so now from D3, we're back to D2, or -2, all right, D2, D3, D4, D3, D2, D1, a lot of little cards there, so these are getting back closer to 0. We're at D1, -1. Now we're at 0, another low card. Still 0, this is a neutral. Back to D1, back to 0, 1, 0, D1 or -1, 0, D1, D2, D1, back to 0, D1, -1, -2, so D2, D1, 0, D1, 0, 1, 2, back to 1, back to 0, still 0, still 0, 1, 2, back to 1, 2, 3, count's getting a little higher here. This is where you would normally raise your bets. That's a different video. So we're at 3, 2, still 2, still 2, 3, 2, still 2, still 2, still 2, 3 9s in a row, still at 2, 1, 0. All right, and so I just have one card left, and because my count is a balance count, this needs to be either a 7, 8, or 9, and it is. It is an 8. All right, so let me know down in the comments, were you able to get this correct, and are you able to go to my a little bit faster video up here on the screen?